Now we switched over to the parallel bars. And continuing, there are 6 events. The side horse, the parallel bars that you see right here, the long horse for vaulting, still rings, high bar, and free exercise. Now on a team, there are 6 men, and each man must work each apparatus. As you're watching the parallel bars work beautifully here. There's a gold medal for each individual winner and team winner. However, you cannot have a specialist because you must have an average of 8.5 overall in all events to receive a medal. The U.S. has great specialists, but they're not as strong all around. Now here's what they call free exercise by Petrovic of Czechoslovakia. And Bob, I think you're much more familiar with these exercises than I am. How about describing some?
Well, Bud, Petrovic did some beautiful exercises there. He had a couple of flips. He did a couple of scales, 2 round-offs. Now you see him as he's showing flexibility exercises as he goes forward in the splits and then presses into a beautiful handstand. Very difficult trick to perform. It takes enormous muscles in the arm and back. There's a pirouette, then a back flip, another back flip, another back flip, into a back half somersault with a split, front scale. There's a double hand spring. All of these exercises are for flexibility, grace, a front scale. Goes into a headstand and a somersault and another beautiful somersault from a kip position. A cartwheel, a back flip, another back flip, and a swan into a front scale. Beautiful exercise, Bud.
Now we have on the rings, it's Marzola, also of Italy, being helped up. Now watch how they steady him completely. Now watch his coach. He'll steady him perfectly. He's completely still, because quite a few points are taken off if those rings start moving. You want to keep them as still as possible. There's another beautiful handstand. That's an iron cross and an L. You can see a man working on the side horse on the other side there too, just like he's warming up a bit, or missed there. There's another what they call an L in the United States. Interesting, most of the countries have different terminologies. Even the English-speaking countries like Great Britain calls them differently than we do. Here's a gentleman from Great Britain working on the side horse. Missed there a little bit. A little unhappy with his exercise. Now we're back on John Marzola. Beautiful iron cross. It was called the crucifixion in Great Britain. Nice straddle coming off, and it was a lovely exercise, wasn't it, Bob?
But I'm amazed as I watch these gymnasts perform. Over in Europe, gymnastics, as you've already mentioned, is one of the favorite sports, and the baths of Caracalla are packed to the rafters tonight for these championships.
Once a man, this is Menichelli of Italy being helped up, and notice he starts with a complete hang. And he starts out with a dislocate there, looks like, Bob.
A beautiful back dislocate into a handstand, Bud. Into another handstand from a dislocate movement. Perfect balance. 2 circles into an iron cross, Bud. Into a press. Beautiful handstand press. An iron cross. 2 dislocates and a straddle dismount. And that looked beautiful to me too. And his coach seems very happy, Bud.
That straddle dismount is very popular. And imagine, see how free those rings are. There's nothing holding him, and to hold him is still, as Menichelli did then, and perform what he did do, well deserves the applause. Let's see how he scored. Feelings are very strong here on the scoring. It's hard to see. 970, I believe, just as we turned around there. A little difficult to read the others. And the judges, there's 975. That is his average. Here's the man who holds the average. Bob?
But if I may say this, if those judges miss too much, the directors of the gymnastics can throw a judge out. So the judges are on the spot, too, to come up with somewhat a similar score.
Now we're up on the high bar, which is one of the most graceful to watch. There's a dislocate. Whoops, a little miss there, I thought, Bob.
Actually, what may look like a miss may not be. Now, there's a cut catch and a stoop through, Bud, and a back kip. That's called an inverted giant swing with another stoop through. To a handstand, a giant swing, and another giant swing with a... He missed his soul circle. He tried to go into a soul circle, and he missed it. Here he goes into a giant swing again, and another one, and another one, and a beautiful flying swan dismount.
Well, that's why the coach was standing there, if that Czechoslovakian boy happened to miss that lovely flying dismount. He's called a spotter. Bob?
But if a man misses one routine, he has the option of taking it again, and his score is not held against him on the first try. But he must take the score that he achieves on the second try.
In a side scale, we have a Czechoslovakian, I believe, or a Yugoslavian doing some free exercise. Bob?
Here is a very difficult exercise. Handstand straddle, press into a handstand, and then a beautiful handspring, cartwheel rather, with a leg circle, somersault, a tensica with a half twist and a somersault, a handstand with a half twist, and a jump to the feet, back, and a back flip into the splits. For flexibility, they do these exercises to show the judges that they're flexible. Once again, Bud, it should be emphasized, they are scored as much for beauty and grace as they are for performing the function. There's a round off.
Looked like you missed that back flip just a little bit then. And Bob, the way you talk on, I'd think you did this instead of pole vaulting, fella. You can see they finished one place and they're going at another. This is Dazdera of Czechoslovakia, Bob.
He has accomplished 3 German swings and then a giant swing, a half twist. He's changed grips, and then a beautiful flying swan dismount, but he missed his step, and that will